Welcome to this presentation on diagramming, using Enterprise Architect and the Sparks modeling platform. You will learn about some of the tools and facilities available to create and manage rigorous and expressive diagrams from a wide range of disciplines, frameworks, and languages. You develop and review the diagrams collaboratively, and you can share them through a web browser with customers and a range of other disciplines from executives, strategists, managers, implementation teams, and more. In this presentation, we will cover the following topics: create and manage diagrams for any discipline, set diagram element and connector styles, use diagramming tools to increase productivity, create and manage specialized diagrams, import, export, publish and exchange diagrams. Create and manage diagrams for any discipline. In this topic, you will see how to work with diagrams from over 100 frameworks, standards, and languages and view them using specialized presentation tools. By the end of the topic, you will have seen benefits, including: select a supported language, standard or framework, trace from strategy to implementation and support, get a jump start using the extensive pattern library, get productivity gains using diagram features, and more. Enterprises use diagrams to describe and communicate system knowledge, from strategy to implementation and support. The tool boasts a broad range of technologies that support modelers across this spectrum of disciplines. Modelers use diagrams to model strategic drivers and goals, capabilities, business processes, applications, information, technology nodes, and more, for business, software, and engineering systems. Carefully crafted technologies provide users with all the language and framework constructs, diagrams, and toolboxes of elements and connectors specific to the language. In addition, many languages and frameworks have supporting tools making you even more productive. Create expressive diagrams that trace elements from stakeholders to code, and get a coherent view of how the system elements are connected. Enterprise Architect is a tool for all disciplines, from high-level executives and strategists down to software and implementation engineers. Connect the elements from multiple disciplines in cohesive diagrams. Modelers can create narratives that clarify and communicate how all the parts work together, to form a specified, designed, deployed, and supported system. Use the Find in Diagrams feature to locate detailed diagrams of elements used in the context of a particular discipline. Get off to a flying start by automatically injecting elements and diagrams into your repository using the Model Wizard patterns. Browse the extensive pattern library, which contains more than 1,000 diagrams from strategy to implementation, and peruse the documentation accompanying each pattern to understand the benefit it will bring, and how best to work with the pattern. Switch perspectives and access discipline and diagram-specific patterns, including model publishing patterns. Select a supported framework or modeling language and use the productive tools to create industry-standard diagrams in disciplines from strategy to implementation. The tool provides these as model-driven generation technologies which can be enabled or disabled in the repository. You can add any subset of the technologies to personal, model-based, or specialized perspectives to restrict the usable frameworks and languages, allowing a modeler to stay focused. Using the profile system, you can define your own technology with user-defined diagrams and toolbox elements and connectors. Create diagrams for various frameworks and languages, including diagrams restricted to a particular view or viewpoint. This will limit the items visible in the toolbox pages to the ones necessary for the selected viewpoint. You can also set a perspective to limit the frameworks and languages displayed when a modeler chooses to add a new diagram to the repository. Using the strict option for a perspective set, a modeler can also customize the items displayed in the toolboxes. Define navigation buttons that launch model diagrams selected from anywhere in the repository, making it easy for any business or technical stakeholder to navigate the model. Include navigation icons to describe the type of diagram or information that the button will launch. Use the navigation buttons on smartphones, tablets, and notebooks in the browser views, including Prolaborate and WebEA. Target other navigation diagrams such as projects or disciplines to allow drill down through the model. view multiple diagrams simultaneously, and increase your productivity creating a richer understanding of how models are related. By default, the tool will open a diagram in a tabbed view. A modeler can float any diagram, move it to another monitor, or dock it in the workspace. Elements can be copied or moved between any of the open diagrams, and pan and zoom, filters and layers, layout, and other tools will work as usual on the docked or floating diagrams. Keep your diagrams simple with hand-drawn mode, and engage stakeholders to continue contributing to a model's evolution. Toggle between highly resolved diagrams and this sketched mode that gives the appearance you scribbled the details on the back of a serviette. Apply other tools such as filters, layers, and diagram labels and legends to add meaning and appeal. Apply to any diagram or use a whiteboard or custom diagram style to change the presentation to engage business and technical stakeholders. Whip up expressive but straightforward diagrams using the flexible and productive whiteboard diagram. A toolbox of useful shapes and icons including circles, cylinders, squares, cubes, stars, and other shapes to quickly get ideas down in team or customer meetings. Link elements from more formal diagrams to the whiteboard icons to facilitate traceability and references for non-technical stakeholders. Preview hyperlinked diagrams before drilling down to the next level. Modelers typically build diagrams in hierarchical layers and provide hyperlinks to drill down from a high-level diagram to lower levels. This mechanism provides a valuable way to manage complexity. In both business and technical models, you can create drill-down chains from any element or package, and at every level, conveniently preview the diagram before drilling down to the next level. A similar preview is available from buttons on navigation diagrams. Model complex systems of any size with Enterprise Architect, including business, technology, or engineering systems. Use the full suite of diagramming tools and helpers to manage the diagram content, including the pan and zoom window, to seamlessly explore these large diagrams and focus on the section of interest. Use layers and filters to restrict what is displayed and create drill down to present the graphical elements in a hierarchy. Create smartphone mockups to model apps running on these and other portable devices such as tablets and personal computers. Use the flexible and expressive wireframing facilities to create mockups of screens for these handheld devices for Apple, Android, and Windows devices. Select from a wide range of controls applicable to each type of device, such as simple and expandable lists, drop-downs, tabs, combo boxes, radio buttons, images, and more. Set diagram object and connector styles. In this topic, you will see how to create diagram objects and relationships and manage their presentation using style tools and options. By the end of the topic, you will have seen benefits, including: add new elements and connectors from the toolbox, reuse elements and connectors from the browser, apply themes and style objects to create appeal, move, size, layout, filter, and layer objects for clarity, and more. Add elements to an open diagram using the toolbox. Whenever you create or open an existing diagram, the tool will open an accompanying set of elements and connectors grouped in toolbox pages. These pages list all and only the set of items you need to create the diagram. You can drag and drop elements and connectors onto an open diagram to create model narratives. You can open other toolbox pages to include elements from other languages that may be required. A repository contains valuable corporate information, and being able to reuse elements creates productivity gains and enforces consistency across the models. Create new and expressive diagrams by dragging existing elements from the browser onto an open diagram. You can connect existing and newly created elements and style the diagram objects and connectors to ensure they convey the intended meaning to their audience. Speed up diagramming with the Quick Linker, and produce compliant diagrams in record time. Modelers need to create elements efficiently to produce a compelling narrative consisting of elements and their connectors. The Quick Linker provides a convenient and productive way to add new objects and connectors while at the same time displaying lists of permissible elements and relationships. This feature reduces the onus on the modeler to know the rules of the applied standard or technology. The toolbox contains pages of elements and connectors specific to the diagram type. After selecting a connector in the toolbox, you can drag and drop a connector between any two diagram objects in the diagram to create compelling language-compliant diagrams. The toolbox also contains other useful diagram objects such as legends, images, notes, text, documents, and more. You can also create user-defined toolboxes and elements using the profile facility. Style elements to create appeal for business stakeholders and technical managers. Use the standard style tools to change the appearance of the diagram elements, including font, type, color, and weight, fill and border color, and thickness. Quickly apply a style to a group of selected elements using the picker and brush tools available from the element icons or the layout ribbon. Use the default style or create and save your own styles for reuse on multiple diagrams, ensuring consistency and saving time. Make elegant and expressive diagrams using a custom style that gives you complete control over element presentation, including fonts, name position, shape, transparency, borders, icons, and more. Diagrams must appeal to their audience, and having compelling styles will ensure they are not only accepted, but will delight the audience, and act as a communication tool. Set the custom drawing style for a single element or the entire diagram, and create diagrams that rival general-purpose drawing tools, all in a collaborative and multidisciplinary model repository. Tidy diagrams with the handy palette of alignment tools to simplify and standardize diagrams, creating precise, expressive, and well-organized representations of your corporate knowledge. Start by multi-selecting a group of elements using the keyboard, or lassoing a group of elements with the mouse, and unify element heights and widths, and align centers vertically or horizontally. Space the elements evenly in a horizontal or vertical line and align the left, right, bottom, or top edges. You can change an element's position in the Z order by sending it forward or backward. Set grid options to align objects and connectors automatically. A modeler needs to position an element in a diagram to convey meaning and ensure connectors route as intended. You can move elements coarsely using drag and drop or move them precisely using the Shift key, in combination with the keyboard arrow keys. You can also change the position of elements using the alignment tools, making elements align with a selected element's top, bottom, left, or right edge. Sizing elements in diagrams is critical to ensure the name and the contents of the other compartments are displayed consistently. Size elements coarsely by dragging the anchor points, or size them precisely, using the Control key in combination with the keyboard arrow keys. Modelers can resize elements using the alignment tools, making elements' width and height equal to the selected element. Change it up with line styles, and ensure your diagrams are appealing and connectors well positioned. Connectors are first-class drawing citizens, and styling them to create clarity and meaning in a diagram is an essential communication device. The tool boasts 10 line styles in addition to the ability to change color and line thickness, transparency, label and icon rotation and position, and a range of other properties, including names, markers, and stereotypes. Other line styles include direct, auto-routing, Bezier, horizontal tree, lateral horizontal, and orthogonal square. Use diagramming tools to increase productivity. In this topic, you will see how to present your diagrams in the best light, by utilizing productive diagramming tools. By the end of the topic, you will have seen benefits, including spice up diagrams with system or user-defined themes. Switch to list, Gantt, specification, matrix or construct views. Pan and zoom, filter, layer, and order diagrams. Display multiple object compartments. And more. Spice up diagrams by switching to another theme and create consistent and well-styled models, making them instantly more appealing to selected audiences. Choose one of the inbuilt themes or create any number of your own, and reuse them on other diagrams. You can configure element font, color, border thickness, gradients, shadows, background images, and more. You can also choose to set the drawing mode to hand-drawn or whiteboard. Switch the diagram view from a graphic style of presentation to a range of other representations. Stakeholders have preferred views, and the tool can flexibly toggle between a diagram's graphical presentation and other text, matrix, list, and Gantt chart views of the same elements and connectors. If a modeler makes a change in one view, it will be immediately reflected in all other views. By default, a diagram will open in its graphic view, but it is also possible to change the default view for a specific diagram to list, specification, or Gantt view, by setting a diagram property. Use the handy pan and zoom window during analysis or workshops to focus on a region of interest in an open diagram. You can quickly move around the diagram at a readable resolution using the focus rectangle, which sets a viewport. Zoom in and out using the magnifying tool, the slider, or the mouse wheel, and explore any large diagram following the flow from the top left corner to the bottom right corner of the diagram. Get the best of both worlds, and display diagrams and textual representations of the diagram elements simultaneously with the inline specification view. The textual view presents names and notes and provides a mechanism to view the diagram through a different lens. It is a helpful narrative view of the diagram elements. A modeler can, for example, use it to check that all elements have some descriptive text before including the diagram in a publication. It can also be used in conjunction with a diagram in presentation mode to assist an audience in understanding the semantics of the diagram. Reveal and change the element's visual order in a diagram. Knowing an element's visual order is essential when diagramming, particularly with overlapping objects. When a modeler selects an object in the Z-order panel, the tool annotates the diagram objects with cardinal numbers that define their position in the visual order. The user can then use arrow keys to reorder the objects to the desired order, and the diagram will be updated simultaneously. Add any element with notes to find, including conceptual, logical, or physical data model elements, to a glossary diagram to incorporate them into a model glossary. The tool categorizes the items by the diagram name, which it displays as a prefix to the term. Text in element notes, discussions, and other windows will hyperlink the terms and display their meaning on rollover. Display multiple compartments in a diagram object. Modelers can add rich information to each element and can choose to display this information in object compartments on selected diagrams. Compartments exist for notes, requirements, attributes, operations, receptions, constraints, user properties, tests, tasks, reviews, discussions, maintenance items, and more. The compartment visibility can be set at a diagram or an object level, and the attributes, operations, and tagged values can be individually suppressed. Hide and reveal elements with layers to view sets of related diagram objects. Layers can be used to represent any concept that is the basis for separating or grouping the diagram objects. They can be applied using ad hoc criteria for separating the elements, for example, items to be focused on in a workshop or elements of a particular architectural style. Layers can be used to separate elements in architecture diagrams to show strategic, tactical or implementation intent, to show particular sequences of activations in a sequence diagram, or to show a time-ordered sequence in a business process model, and much more. Add images to diagrams to create expressive narratives and compelling representations that will engage business and technical stakeholders, who are typically unfamiliar with the modeling languages. Use a built-in library of handy images or create your own at a team, project, organization, or industry level. Use scalable vector or raster images and include them in web pages or reports and publications generated from the model. Create and manage specialized diagrams. In this topic, you will see how to create industry standard and specialized diagrams used from strategy to implementation. By the end of the topic, you will have seen benefits, including: devise and implement strategy with a value chain. Create Azure and AWS architecture diagrams. Work with Kanban diagrams, backlogs, and boards. Simulate diagrams to assist with analytics. And more. Prepare for change with Porter's value chain, a strategic device you use to model how your organization creates value for its market. It comprises primary and secondary activities that are important for an organization's success. Create a value chain from a pattern and modify it to model how your organization operates. Change colors, gradients, styles, and more to make the diagram more appealing for business stakeholders. Create expressive diagrams of your organization's Azure architectures and model a full range of resources, including web apps, load balancers, virtual machines, key vaults, SQL databases, traffic managers, and more. Model these Microsoft Cloud infrastructures alongside on-premise and other vendor cloud architectures, allowing model stakeholders to get a cross-platform view of the architecture landscape. Create expressive and powerful diagrams of Amazon Web Service architectures using the AWS icons representing the full suite of resources and services. Model EC2, RDS, S3 buckets, machine learning, and Lambda resources, and more. Connect the cloud architectures with models of on-premise infrastructure assets and show how application or business-level services are distributed across both types of architectures. Manage requirements, user stories, use cases, and more, with agile Kanban diagrams to increase speed to market, and customer value. As a product owner, triage and manage backlogs and effortlessly move items between lanes and boards. Your whole team can work productively by choosing items from the board and recording their progress on an item. You can use pre-configured boards using patterns, or define your project or personal boards and lanes, including colors, work-in-progress limits, and which properties to display. Make capabilities smart, by showing information about the capabilities in 2 dimensions using dynamic legends that automatically color the diagram. Bring your capabilities to life using built-in or user-defined properties such as priority, business criticality, and technology enablement. Watch as the tool dynamically updates diagrams in response to changes in element properties. Define your own legends and colors, set alternate legend display names, and reuse legends by dragging them from the browser onto any diagram canvas. Create and view expressive wireframe models of smartphones, tablets, and personal computers, including Apple and Android devices. Create user interface controls like lists, radio buttons, tabs, and more. Use whiteboard, hand-drawn, or custom mode to make the diagrams appealing to a broader audience. Visualize how the interface supports requirements, resolves constraints, and mitigates risks by connecting individual controls to both specification and implementation elements. Switch to a spreadsheet or document view of items like requirements, blocks, activities, test cases, or any elements used in a specification or design. Gain productivity from team members who prefer to work in these more familiar business views. Visualize package, element, or diagram objects in the specification manager, and edit their properties inline within the sheet or document view. You can also tailor the view by adding or removing system or user-defined properties. Understand connectivity and gaps in your models by using matrices to visualize the relationship between source and target elements or features. Locate scope creep, gaps, and unimplemented requirements by viewing the colored matrix bands. Visualize any elements connections, including drivers, goals, user stories, use cases, test cases, risks, and more. Include the matrix in web pages and publications as an alternative view for non-technical stakeholders, or export it to a spreadsheet or save it for future reference. View a model's evolution and the elements and resources that will contribute to how the model will evolve. Convert any diagram or package to a Gantt view and color the bars to indicate milestones, modelers, and more. Create project, resource, or package-level charts, switch between element and resource views, and gain valuable insights into the allocated resources and model timelines. You can apply filters to curate the views, such as only displaying elements that meet particular criteria, such as a specified version number or having a selected status. Take your process models to the next level with BPSIM, and test ideas, identify optimal staffing ratios, experiment with probabilities, alter the timing and duration of events, remove bottlenecks, and more. Run these advanced simulations right inside the repository, and view a wealth of information that will make it easy to optimize and streamline both your current and future state processes. import, export, publish, and exchange diagrams. In this topic, you will see how to create diagrams from databases and code modules, export diagrams to the clipboard or a file, and view them in a browser. By the end of the topic, you will have seen benefits, including view models in real time through a web browser, publish diagrams in high-quality corporate documents, import diagrams from databases or programming code, magically create diagrams from repository connections, and more. Put strategy, specification, design, architectural, and implementation diagrams in your pocket, and instantly view real-time models in a browser, no matter where you are. View the models on a notebook, tablet, or smartphone, and create new requirements, and other elements, adding notes and other details as required. Collaborate with colleagues, consultants, and customers by entering into discussions, chat, reviews, and viewing each other's model additions and changes in real time. Modelers often need to quickly include a diagram or visualization in an external document. Save an image to the clipboard and paste it into your favorite word processing or presentation tool. You can instantly save an open diagram to the clipboard or a file in various formats, including PNG, GIF, JPEG, BMP, or an EMF vector-based type. Using preferences, you can scale the diagrams, choose to set opaque diagram labels, and include diagram frames in images saved to the clipboard or a file. Generate high-quality corporate documents directly from the model. Use a range of document generation techniques with flexible system or user-defined templates, filters, and presentation options. Completely customize your publications to comply with industry, corporate, or customer standards, including styles and logos. Add static and dynamic content, and auto-regenerate the document when the model changes. Generate publications in formats such as docx, HTML, PDF, and more. Reverse engineer a DBMS schema and its objects into a model, and create well laid out and formatted diagrams, using several different standards, including UML, information engineering, and IDEF1X. Enterprise Architect achieves this by interrogating the DBMS's information schema and importing the definition into UML objects. As modifications are made to the live database, the changes can be synchronized into the model. Many database objects are supported, including tables, views, procedures, functions, and sequences. Reverse engineer programming code, and visualize files in UML models, exposing the code to a broader audience and linking the classes to other elements such as requirements and tests. Generate a UML model of a single file or a directory of source code files, including subdirectories. You can choose a range of structural options, including package and namespace creation, and diagram appearance. Once you have imported the source files, you can synchronize the models and the code, preserving changes or overriding a model's content. Generate sequence diagrams that model the interactions of components in your application directly from recordings of execution analysis sessions. View the messages and interactions in a system-generated sequence diagram to gain coherent insights into how the code works. Use the diagram and reports for analysis, documentation, and to assist support analysts in understanding your software application. Create a diagram almost by magic, by selecting any element in a diagram and launching the Insert Related Elements facility. You can limit the connector and element types, the link direction, and the traversal level or depth of the diagram graph to display a list of elements that meet the criteria. You can then cherry-pick the elements you want to be included in the diagram, and choose to automatically lay out the diagram when the insertion is completed. You can then choose another diagram object and repeat the process, creating your own narrative. Never lose track of element connectivity with the traceability window, and view a graph of model connections from a context or reference element. Set options to restrict which relationships to display, and locate related elements in the browser or diagrams, and instantly view their properties. Use this view in conjunction with other windows, like matrices, and model views to gain a comprehensive understanding of how requirements relate to both business and technology elements, ensuring there is no scope creep or unintended gaps in your design. In this presentation, we have covered the following topics: create and manage diagrams for any discipline, set diagram element and connector styles, use diagramming tools to increase productivity, create and manage specialized diagrams, import, export, publish and exchange diagrams.